Thank you all so much. Jordan Page is my name. God bless you all. Let the RNC hear you now. Ron Paul, Ron Paul, Ron Paul, Ron Paul, Ron Paul.
Jordan Page. Well, his father led the conservative movement for his generation from the U.S. Senate. And then he came along. His father wrote books, and then he wrote books. And he led the conservative movement for the next generation from the U.S. Congress. Please help me welcome author and speaker and leader of the conservative movement even today, and now part of the liberty movement, Barry Goldwater, Jr.
My name is Barry Goldwater, and I served in the House of Representatives for 14 years from California. I served with my father, Senator Goldwater, when he was in the United States Senate, one of the few times where the father and son served together, until recently. Now we have Rand Paul in the United States Senate and Ron Paul in the United States Congress. While I was in Congress, I met Ron Paul, and at one point in time he invited me down to his district to campaign. We had a wonderful barbecue, and there was a swimming pool. And Ron and I had a race. I'm not going to tell you who won, but I'll never forget his kindness, his generosity, even to today. We are all very blessed to have Ron Paul leading the cause for liberty. In some respects, because of my father, I came out of the womb with a bumper sticker on my butt. Politics. Some way or another, I can't get away from it. And for good reason. This America that we live in is too important just to give up on. And that's why you're here today. But it takes a leader, an interpreter, somebody that will show us the way. And that individual is Ron Paul. He has been in the trenches for a long, long time. But it was not only Ron, but his wife Carol, and their five kids, including Rand and Kelly, his wife, and 19 grandchildren. And Ron and Carol, thank you. Thank you from all of us for being there and being our leader. I will not disclose my age, even though I've been in politics a long time. I'm really not smarter, but I hope wiser. I've learned that life is somewhat like a roll of toilet paper. The closer you get to the end, the faster it goes. Now, there have been a lot of changes in America, since 1964, and especially the last 3 years. Are we better off today than we were then? That is the campaign slogan. And anyone who is honest with themselves will have to say no. Our country is hurting. The American people are hurting. Our economy is hurting and is bumping along the bottom of the rung. If we stick together and we talk about our core values, we will win in November. It reminds me of the story told about a woman who had a parrot who had a foul mouth. The parrot would sit on her perch all day and say cuss words. She was embarrassed to have her friends over. She didn't know what to do, so she called the priest. And the priest told her, hey, it just so happens I have 2 male parrots that sit in the chancellery all day saying the rosary. Bring her over, and I'm sure that my 2 parrots will bring her to Jesus. So she got her female parrot and brought her over to the church, and they stuck her in with the 2 male parrots doing the rosary. And one turned to the other and says, drop your bees, Charlie, our prayers have been answered. Well, our prayers will be answered because the president will have to run on his record, and he doesn't have one to run on. America is truly an experiment in liberty. It was founded on a set of ideas called freedom. It's the first time in history that government's purpose wasn't to grant or deny rights, but to protect those God-given rights that people have. History offers us no single example of where a country have taxed, borrowed, and spent their way into prosperity. But history shows us many examples, even today in Europe, where countries have tried to borrow and spend and tax themselves into prosperity. Ron Paul put it this way when he said, only freedom produces wealth. Only freedom produces wealth. Welfare perpetuates poverty. We in this nation for too long have experimented with government programs to take care of us. Other than collecting taxes, there's very few things the government does well. There was a broken fence at the White House, and they put an RFP out. And a fellow from Montana and Tennessee and Chicago showed up to respond to the RFP. They went up to the White House, and the guy from Montana took his ruler out, and he measured, and he figured, and he said, I can do that job for